started my study on my country of choice, which was Puerto Rico. I really wanted to go there for a visit because a lot of my family members have gone there and said it's a very beautiful place. But throughout my studies this semester, I now realize that it's probably not the best place to go, and there's a few reasons why. The Puerto Rican economy is in a extreme deficit, and just a few of the reasons on the surface are the population is declining at a fast pace. So, as the economy is getting worse and worse, more citizens of the island are moving to the U.S. mainland and in other countries for better economic opportunities and job opportunities. The unemployment rate is at 12%. Um, Poverty is very severe in Puerto Rico at this time at 45%, and the value of homes are less than they were 15 years ago, which is a pretty big deal. Um, Tourism, which is most of the island's income, has shot down significantly in the past few years, because hotel expenses are now out the roof, and lately there has been a virus outbreak caused by mosquitoes, which can be very deadly to the human body. Another reason for the economic deficit of Puerto Rico is because they have borrowed so much money in hopes to launch their economy and be able to pay it back, but they can't get their economy to take off. In 2011, Governor Padilla, I'm going to assume it's his name, issued $3.5 billion of bonds, which was enough to hold Puerto Rico until last June. When the time came, the $70 billion debt was so much that it just could not be paid. And this $70 billion or $70 billion debt can come out to be about $20,000 per person that lives in Puerto Rico. The outcome of the debt is basically now in the hands of the U.S. Congress, where House Republicans are seeking to build support for legislation that would empower a federal to oversee Puerto Rico's budget and a reconstruction of its debt. Because of its economic state, investors view major defaults increasingly probable. Puerto Ricans with means, like I said, and education are leaving for the mainland. The island has lost about 440,000 people in the past decade, and that comes out to be about 12,000 departing every week. Many have moved to Florida, which could make the state's demographic more favorable for Democrats in November's presidential election, because Puerto Ricans cannot vote on the actual island of Puerto Rico, but if they move to the United States and they actually live in a state, they can then vote for the U.S. presidential election. With growing debt and a shrinking number of taxpayers, the island appears to be trapped in an economic death spiral, so to speak. Those who stay face very high bills as they're trying to get, they need some type of money, and this is what they have to raise all their bills to try and get this money. The sales tax last year rose from 7 to 11.5%, and water and electricity rates have just spiked. A big problem with Puerto Rico being in this economic deficit is that they cannot file for bankruptcy. While the states in America are allowed to seek the Chapter 9 bankruptcy protections, a quirk in federal law bans Puerto Rico towns and cities from doing the same. Obama administration has proposed extending Chapter 9 protections to the island, which would cover about a third of its debt. Senate Democrats have gone farther, putting forward two bills that would give Puerto Rico the power to reconstruct all its debt and let its governor decide which debts to pay off first. But hedge funds are and other large bondholders oppose this plan, as do many Republicans. Um, so to sorry, the debt crisis, if it is not fixed, um, it will be a very, very big issue in Puerto Rico because that's when they have to decide what to fund. They have to decide whether to fund healthcare services, schools, or police while they are servicing the debt. And meanwhile, a default would set off a tsunami of legal actions as hundreds of creditors would sue the government in Puerto Rico.